So, the powerful thing about solitude, I used to think to myself, why all the time the Bible says early in the morning Jesus would wake up and then he would go to a solitude place and pray and kind of hide out from everybody. And I realized, imagine how busy Jesus must have been healing people, doing miracles, signs and wonders. And the fact that he always had to refresh himself by spending time with the Father. Though he was God, he still understood the importance of solitude. He understood the importance of getting away from the noise, getting away from the crowd, and being able to hear from God. And I realized for myself that when I do that, I truly, truly hear God. I truly hear what he has to say. It's a time of refreshing. You see how quiet it is? Hold on. The only thing you hear is birds. And yesterday, I don't want to sound too crazy, but yesterday, when I went for my walk, come this way. Yesterday, when I went for my walk, I don't know if it's for prophetic people or what, but I heard the trees speaking. Has that ever happened to you before?
Yeah.
I heard the nature speak. It was almost as if God was speaking through nature. And these, see, when you're able to just step away from the crowd and you're able to just hear God, it's the most powerful thing that anyone can ever do. It's the most, I don't know how to describe it. I don't even know a word to use, but it's something that Jesus normally practiced. It's something that we should also make a priority. Spending time with God, getting away from the noise. The thing I love about where I am is that there's nothing here except for trees, birds, and nature. And when you're away from the crowd like that, it helps you. It helps you to just sit down, slow down, and hear what God has to say. Everybody needs this period of time every day. It's important to have, because this is where you feel refreshed. This is where you gain your strength. As a child of God, you need to hear from God, and you need to hear his instructions. Because if you're a child of God and you don't move by instruction, then you start doing things your own way. You realize you mess up, and then you start asking God, why'd you let this happen to me? But all God was trying to say is, guy, slow down and listen. Slow down and listen to what I have to say. Because if you do, you go down the right path. It's a practice that all of us should try. And it's not just try, we should do, and do it every single day. Just in 24 hours, spend at least 1 hour. Spend at least 1 hour just in solitude, away from everybody, away from everything. Right now, I had to leave the kids, get them out of the way, right? And hear what God has to say. I know a lot of us like noise because many of us are from the city. Many of us are in environments that are so busy. But when you just step away and you hear what God has to say, sometimes it may not be some long message or anything. It could just be a word, a simple word. And that word can change everything for your day, for your year, for your month, for your marriage, for your situation. I remember I was talking to a brother who was going through something, and he was saying that he was looking at the weather and he realized how much the weather kept changing. Let's keep walking. And then he's like, he was in solitude. And then God told him, the same way the seasons keep changing and the weather keeps changing, so will your situation be. Right now, it may be cold, but there'll be a time where it'll be hot. There'll be a time where it'll be warm. There'll be a time where you will be comforted. And there'll be a time where, you know, it gets too hot, or sometimes it may be too cold. But as the seasons change, so our life situations also change. So that word comforted him. Let him know that, okay, though I'm in a tough time right now, things will get better. Things will definitely change. But it took a place of solitude to hear what God had to say. So that's what I have for you. And solitude is just like this, what I'm doing right now. You practice solitude by getting away from the crowd, walking, being in silence. Sometimes you don't need no headphones, you don't need no music, you don't need anything. Just walk, just hear what God has to say. I'll see you guys next time.